What is going on, my Super Sandwiches? Romstar here, and today I'm joined by Geekdom with some Dragon Ball Super talk, with the topic being what Dragon Ball Super needs in this next arc. Now, of course, this is going to be opinion-based, and we want to hear from your opinions as well. So in the comment section below, feel free to share what you personally believe this series needs as we go into this next arc, which, by the way, we may have small spoilers of what's going to happen in the next arc. Not like the details, but we got the premise, as Geekdom says. We know essentially which direction it's going to take, so we might talk about that, but if you want to keep all the spoiler stuff away, then I guess don't watch the rest of this video. But Geekdom, you actually have a lot to say about this, don't you?
I guess. I mean, I did a 30-minute video with Mike from Laughing Stock Media, which should be going up soon, about this very topic, and really about part of this topic. And I think
Gotcha.
the one thing that Super needs more than anything, and it's my opinion, is I do think they have to get out of the 10-year time skip. I think Super at this point needs to go beyond the end of Z.
I would love that. And we all thought that, you know, last week when they showed the next episode preview for this past weekend, when we saw Trunks, we all thought that we were going to actually go in that direction, but we ended up getting trolled and not getting it. I mean, honestly, I hope at one point we do get past that, and that's obviously going to be a goal on a lot of our minds as we go into the future of the series. But specifically, honestly, what I think should happen is, and this is going to be what I'm talking about as far as spoilers. Honestly, should I say the spoiler? Yeah, I'm going to say the spoiler. Honestly, I would not be opposed if Hit kills Goku in the beginning of this arc.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't either. Now, I will say this, by the way, it was actually 10 minutes, not 30 minutes, but no, well, we are being teased on that, obviously, as being the start of it, and I've said that before, is that I feel that having an arc where Goku sits out, I think, is a good idea. You know, back in DBZ, Goku did sit out for a lot of it, you know, when Raditz killed him, or when he killed himself, whatever, and then he was training on Namek, and we got to see, like, Krillin, Gohan, we got to see them develop. If you remember the fight with the androids, Goku gets the heart virus, and then everybody else has to pitch in. I wish Super would do that. I feel
That's exactly what I want to see happen too. That's why, like, I mean, I'm not saying kill Goku. I mean, he's the main character of the series. Like, you can't kill Goku, but at least get to the point where he has to sit out for, you know, obvious reasons. And this will allow the series to focus more on the other characters. I mean, a lot of us want Gohan to come back, and while I don't personally believe that Gohan will have a comeback in this next arc, I do believe at some point in the future he will. I want Vegeta to not be a punching bag for once. I mean, what I really liked about the Trunks arc this past couple months is how everything was very much. It was like it was hard to predict which direction the series was going to take. I mean, I honestly believe that the first time Goku fought Goku, or Goku fought Black the first time, that was going to be it, and that was going to be like basically a quick ending, and then that's it. But the fact that like the team kept losing over and over again, I like that, because it was like, oh, okay, maybe they're not ready yet to fight. And if Goku gets taken out in the beginning of this next arc, number one, it allows you know, the writers to really focus on the other characters. I mean, a lot of us want Vegeta to do something. A lot of us want Gohan to do something. A lot of us even want to see Kabe come back and do something. Like, there's so much room here for that kind of improvement. And then, of course, being more on the unpredictable end. Because the thing is, and to be fair, having Goku there, you know they're gonna win. It's like Goku is like that, like the image of hope.
I will say this, yes, but there's actually a bigger problem now I've noticed that needs to be addressed. It's not even Goku anymore. Now it's Beerus. I think being friends with the gods has significantly killed the drama, because we saw it in the Trunks arc with the Omni King. We saw it again in the Dr. Slump episode.
Especially in the Dr. Slump episode.
Yeah, Bulma is constantly relying on Beerus. Now, I know that Beerus is part of the main cast, but something needs to happen. Maybe he has to go back to sleep or something. Something needs to happen to where Beerus is no longer the Deus Ex Machina, so to speak. They have to get rid of that, because they're relying too much on the gods. And I feel like the way it's being built up, and I don't know this for sure, it's a feeling I get. My instincts tell me that this is going to play into a future arc, because the humans are relying, or the mortals, or the Ningen, are relying way too much on gods. And I think at some point, I would hope, fingers crossed, that something's going to happen where they can't rely on the gods anymore. And we saw a little bit of it in the Trunks fight with Zamasu, but we need to see more of that, I think, as well. I love having Beerus around, but when you have somebody who can kill ghosts, it's like, it does kill the drama. Like, I'm cool with them having like fun episodes and shit. But I think Dragon Ball needs that drama. We saw a little bit of it in Trunks arc. I think we need more of it. Yeah, I do agree with that. Also, one thing I would also like to see is kind of take individual arcs, and because there's a lot of members of the cast. If you include the Universe 6 guys, it's an even bigger cast. So have one arc focus on maybe like Kabe, Vegeta, and maybe Goten Trunks, and then maybe the next arc you could focus on like Piccolo and Vegeta, Gohan, Bulma.
Like that Hunter style storytelling right there.
Yeah, I mean, I even go back even further to the X-Men comics. In the X-Men comics, at one point in the 90s, you had the Jim Lee X-Men and the Uncanny X-Men. You had the gold team and the blue team, and they would only come together for the big finale, the big arcs, the big X-overs, as they would call them. Do the same thing in Dragon Ball Super. You could even have the stories going around at the same time. I personally feel that Super, in my opinion, needs to evolve into more sophisticated storytelling. I'm not saying, I know it's a show for kids and it has to be simplified, but what I mean by that is that I want them to try new things, new kinds of storytelling. Don't make it so complex. It doesn't have to be Breaking Bad levels of great, but I mean, make it so that every episode and every arc offers something different, has some real development, and focus on some of the other characters. And this is not me saying, oh, you gotta give Gohan a god power. That's not even it. But you could have a storyline where Bulma, Gohan, and Jocko go to Vegeta's planet to repair one of the Metal Men. And then there's an evil Metal Man there. And then they have to step up. There's literally hundreds upon thousands of stories they could tell.
Right.
This show could go on forever with all the characters they have. We just have to utilize these characters correctly.
Yeah. But I do want to point out, make a quick comment on your Beerus statement. The cool thing about Beerus is even though he is there, he's still written to the point where he doesn't necessarily care to intervene at certain situations. I mean, we saw like when they wanted him to basically go into the future, and he's all like, "Oh no, I don't time travel. If I went there, I could easily destroy it, but I'm not going to do that." He only cares about his timeline, and we saw that when he took out Zamasu. So even though Beerus is kind of like that, well, if all else fails, we'll just tell the god to go beat up the bad guy. I still feel like part of him and part of the story in the future of the series is going to always revolve around a situation where it's like, well, I don't really feel like it because that's not my job. Like, I'm a god. I love Earth. I love the food you got here, but I'm not going to help you guys because you got to do this in yourself.
Yeah, I agree with that. But at the same time, okay,
yeah, I was going to say, at the same time, I do agree with how it's like having Beerus just there. It's like, well, even if Goku can do it, Beerus can do it. So, part of me just...
At some point... Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was going to... At some point in Super, we need to see Beerus challenged. We need to see Whis challenged.
That's what I was going to say.
We've been talking about this since the beginning of the series. Something has to happen to where they're at least... I'm not saying they have to get killed or anything, but we have to have something happen to where the threat of Beerus losing. Because the idea to me would be, Beerus is really, really strong, right? Whis is strong. We know this. Having some kind of villain come around that will actually test them, forcing the mortals like Goku and them to have to really use their brains and team up. And then again, you can use Gohan there. He's the smarter of the team. He's the brains of the team. I think, again, that's more sophisticated storytelling. You don't have to make the whole series just fight.
Yep.
You could have the fights. I'm not saying to get rid of the fights, but have it be more to where they have to use their heads. And honestly, dude, they got to stop with the ass pulls. I mean, the ass pulls, it's one of those things where as fans, we're all like, yo, that was dope. That was cool. Like, look at what Trunks can do. But with no explanation, one of the things.
But then you think about it, it's like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah.
Like one of the things about storytelling, right? When it comes to the narrative of the story of the hero's quest, right? Classic storytelling from the beginning of civilization is that you can't always have the hero pull out a magical power out of nowhere. Once or twice, okay, Dragon Ball's done it before. It's nothing new. But you have to have that struggle. And the one thing that Dragon Ball has always had is the training stuff. In every arc, we saw these guys lose and then train. Goku lost to Tien, he beat him in the rematch. Yep. Vegeta, Frieza was owning freaking Goku for most of that fight. Goku's, Frieza fucks up, kills his best friend, the tide turns. That's the kind of storytelling where, okay,
and that is what I want to see in this arc.
Yeah, like villains have to make mistakes in order for the good guys to... Because Zamasu made a mistake when he fused. That was actually kind of funny that him fusing wound up being a problem with his body and all that, but like...
Fusing with a mortal at that.
Yeah, and that's one thing I will say, and I've noticed this trend since Resurrection F. Resurrection F started this where, if you watch that film, it has no second act. It's like, Frieza comes in, then they fight. We see the new transformation from both of them. We don't actually see them earn these things. I think the secret to storytelling is when you have a good guy earn his keep, which is why, like, I'll use wrestling as an analogy. People like John Cena and Roman Reigns get booed because you don't see that the meteoric rise. They're just all of a sudden they're freaking Trunks, and you know, people like that. But it's more, you can sympathize more with a character if he earns his victory.
Right. Which is one of the reasons why I'm excited about this next arc, because like when the Trunks arc was first announced, I had two questions. Number one, how strong exactly is Goku Black, and why is he that much of a threat? And in the beginning of the arc, we noticed that he wasn't even that strong. And the next thing you know, they come back to the future, and this guy is Super Saiyan God status. We see a second Zamasu who's immortal, and then it's like, okay, where's the story gonna go? But with this next arc, it's set up to the point where, okay, there's a lot of room for, you know, a good way to take the series where, number one, you have Hit who's come back, who got hired by somebody. Now, Hit isn't necessarily a bad guy. He's an assassin. This is his job. He's been doing it for a long time. He's over 1,000 years old. And even though he is, you know, hired to kill Goku, that's just him doing his job. But the real enemy, the real threat here is whoever is behind Hit. And now it's like they have to figure out how to play a game of cat and mouse, and this is how the story ends up being told. They have to play a game of cat and mouse where they have to, like, you know, avoid Hit while trying to figure out who put the hit out on Goku. And if he succeeds, now you have a different way. It's like, okay, how is the story even going to be told in the first place? Because if Goku is out for the picture for this entire arc or for an X amount of episodes, what's going to happen? And that is exactly what Super needs. They needed to take the story to the point where it's like, you can't predict anything, but at the same time, you can kind of expect how it's going to go, if that makes sense. Like, because, like, nobody expected the ass pull of an ending in a Trunks arc. I mean, thing is, as I was watching that arc, I was trying to figure out, well, Zamasu's immortal. Goku Black is basically, you know, Goku, just evil with, you know, his God Key and everything. How the hell are they going to win this? And then that's the ending that we got that was kind of like, oh, okay, well, I guess I can accept that.
It was kind of depressing. I mean, that's the thing. No matter what, like, if you liked it or didn't like it, it was a sad ending for Trunks.
Yeah, and of course everybody dies. I forgot all about that.
That's the real
ending. The point is this next arc is set up to a point where there is a lot of room to, like, really write an incredible story, and I'm hoping that's exactly the path they take as we go into this next arc, which airs on, what, episode 71, right?
71 is where it begins. Now, I did want to say one quick thing here about Toei and what's been going on, because people are confused about this, and it's kind of a major problem. We talked about it like a year ago, but
sure.
Toei is very overwhelmed right now with work. Now, yes, it's their fault for taking so many projects, but the animators that are there now are not the same animators that were there in the 90s, and and there's way too many projects, too much anime, too much live action stuff, so they're really stretched thin. And what I would like to see is maybe they outsource more, maybe even to the United States, or if they do something, because I think the pacing in Super is a little bit jarring. Sometimes it's too fast, sometimes it's too slow, and I think if they had more breathing room, like, I would be okay if Super took like a month off. Honestly, 1 month is okay for them to rebuild themselves. I do think that the pacing is kind of weird. The animation is fine, but you only get a certain number of animators per episode, and they're only there for a short time because they have bigger projects. So I do think that is another reason why it's not like DBZ, and I do wish that would get fixed sooner than later, so that way the series can kind of flow better.
From the technical and production end, that's what needs to happen with Super as a series, because honestly, I still believe that if they had Sheeta for 2 episodes, that finale where we have Vegeta would have been 2 episodes long instead of 1, because Sheeta was only there for the 1 episode, and then I'm sure he moved on to his next project, which is why they had to probably cut it short and just rush it. So
that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, from the technical end, they definitely need to work on that, but as far as storytelling, this is basically what we believe should happen. So in the comment section below, we want to hear from you guys. What do you think Super needs right at this second and moment as you get this next arc?
Gohan, Broly.
Actually, I'm going to ask this question too. The second question is what character do you want to have a bigger focus in this next arc? Drop the name down below. So if
that
you want
should
to
be
have
a different video.
I mean, we could have a response video to that, you know, in the future after, you know, we see what the comments say in this one. But for now, let us know your thoughts on which character should be more of a focus in this next arc as opposed to just being, you know, Goku and Vegeta. So, yeah. Anyway, so if you enjoyed today's video, feel free to leave a like rating below, comment on all the good stuff, and I guess we'll see you guys in the comment section below for the community discussion and see what everybody else thinks now. So we'll see you down below. Peace.